चलो गाइस, स्विमिंग का टाइम हो गया है एंड
provides statutory recognition
न्यूज़ सुन लेते हैं थोड़ा आज
in
का।
line with the constitutional protection which is granted to religious groups and religious minorities. There is not only a statutory right for such work property, but this flows from the constitutional right, fundamental rights which are granted in the constitution when it comes to practicing, professing one's religion, the freedom to practice, profess any religion, and as well as to protect the rights of religious minorities. Now, if you look at Article 26 of the Indian Constitution,
बाप रे
Article
बाप।
26 provides the freedom to manage one's religious affairs. This includes the fundamental right to establish and maintain institutions for religious and charitable purposes. It's under this specific provision that what property would fall under. Now, this applies equally for all religions, where religious communities have the right not only to practice, profess, and propagate the religion, but even to establish, maintain institutions for religious and charitable purposes. If you look at Article 30, that provides rights for minorities, religious and linguistic minorities, it essentially grants a fundamental right to establish educational institutions
एजुकेशनल
to protect and
इंस्टीट्यूशंस।
promote the rights of religious and linguistic minorities. So, under these provisions, Waqf land has constitutional legitimacy and it has been provided legal recognition through the Waqf Act. Now, to manage this property, to recognize them and essentially to register them, to regulate them, essentially there is a council and a board at the central and state level. At the center, we have the Central Waqf Council, which comes under the Ministry of Minority Affairs. Please take note of these facts, which can be very important for your prelims. Central Waqf Council, which comes under the Ministry of Minority Affairs, it consists of around 22 members. And at the state level, the law provides for state Waqf boards, consisting of 11 members. And it falls under the respective state government's minority welfare department. This is the institution through which Waqf properties are regulated. But however, there is a lot of controversy surrounding Waqf land and Waqf property and the endowment which is donated out on religious grounds or charitable grounds. Now let's see why this Amendment Act had to be brought out by the Parliament, why the government was pushing for it.
आज नहीं
What's the
जाने देगा क्या?
controversy surrounding this, and what has the Supreme Court said about some of the provisions? I will take you through some specific provisions. I'll tell you whether the Supreme Court has upheld the provision or it has put a stay on this provision. So let's break this down. Let's understand by starting with this important provision which was added through the Amendment Act. The Amendment Act provided that a property which is being donated by a donor, there is a condition, a criteria should be met. The donor should be a practicing Muslim for a minimum of 5 years. If, let's say, someone is donating land for a Waqf board, for Waqf activities, for religious charitable activities, if that land has to be treated as inalienable, as the property of God himself, for this to be legitimized, the new criteria was the donor should be a practicing Muslim for 5 years, or else any such land donation or endowment will not be treated as Waqf property. It will not enjoy that protection, the legal constitutional protection. Now, why did the government bring in such a provision? The government had a legitimate aim, a legitimate concern. Because there have been several instances where people of other religion,
एंड करते हैं लगता है।
let's say a Hindu or a Christian, maybe their faith